And this is day 3 of 30 days of BC and AL, and I'm putting this payables agent to test. So if you haven't watched any other video, this is part of a series for 30 days, and at least the first 3 videos are covering more of the payables agent. And definitely if you need to set it up, you can look at the previous 2 videos, part of this series. And because now today I'm testing it with a different kind of challenge. Here is an invoice. There's an free invoice template that you can see. I'm just sending this, and it's a PNG. So ideally, the invoice is sent in form of an PDF document, and definitely the inbound e-document has been created. Okay, so let's review what's happening with this email sent. So we are definitely saying there's an invoice that should be paid by 15th November, and I'm trying to see. So it's expecting a PDF. So definitely we ought to send a PDF. Okay. So if the inbound incoming document is not a PDF, then the payables agent is not going to process. So let's resend the same document as a PDF. So I'll just do the resending, and we'll be expecting it in a few.
Hii ni Tech na Msangi ya jishinde.com.
Okay, so right there I have resent the PDF of the invoice, and we can now review it. Okay, no, this is the first one, so let me stop it from here and see another incoming one that needs attention. And so this is the latest PDF that I've sent. I have now sent the PDF of the invoice, and you can see the view PDF step here that the PDF has been found, the PDF version of this particular invoice. Okay, all right, so we are able now to put the agent to test. We will continue with this step, so let me just continue, and so that you can be able to look at the task and probably create a vendor for us. And we want to make sure that the vendor is created in the ideal sense. Or what Microsoft recommends is, when you're creating an invoice, when you are setting up the email, this email should not be available to vendors. Look at the case here that a vendor has sent, for example, a PDF, so a PNG, or they have just sent maybe a reminder. Okay, send me I sent you the invoice last week, you haven't paid. Some such information will be adding to the messages that are getting processed by the agent. So ideally, the first point of information should be either someone who is controlling the emails, maybe the normal emails that, so we could not identify the vendor. So let me create a vendor. So maybe someone who is doing the email work in the office, or receiving all the emails from a common email that is accessible by vendors, and then they can be sent to a specific email, like a specific forecast email for the payables agent. When it's sent there, that's when it will be processed in this way. And then now the task can be now to create and follow it up, and definitely it makes it more manageable and better in terms of how the payables agent will come out to be. So the task is in progress. We are going to give it time and see the result that will come from here. So the vendor has been created. I just need to review this particular vendor. So it's based on the information in the invoice. Of course, it was your company auto-populated vendor number, and the invoicing details will be definitely different a little bit. And of course, it has got all the information from receiving, Introstat, and of course we can see this is the information from the vendor. I can confirm, of course, the vendor is being created. So what we need to verify is this vendor who has been created, um, what is the status of the vendor before the invoice is fully confirmed. Most of the time, okay, the payables agent creates, not most of the time, as of now, it creates a vendor who is blocked, status blocked all, just to enable that user interaction to make sure that before any posting is done to this particular account, because a transaction in the GL is very critical. So before any posting is done to the journals, then the vendor is fully verified. The vendor is verified to ascertain that this is what was expected from the perspective of the vendor. So let's review the draft of the invoice. Of course, it's coming here. It doesn't identify the type based on this particular information. And of course, as of now, you can definitely pick whether it's an item or it's a GL account for your invoice. And of course, we are having the draft form of this invoice, which can now be converted to the main invoice. So I'll just give it a few random GLs and definitely uh, something to replace. I don't know. It's not okay, and we get the point. We don't need really to complete this, and of course maintenance, repairs and maintenance. Where is F8? F8, and then we can continue. And of course, we will have our process complete where now the invoice is created. But for posting, definitely it won't work unless we make sure. Let's look at the blocked status of this vendor so that we confirm. So the blocked status of the vendor is all. By default, it makes sure that it's all, and you can maybe make it unblocked to enable now the processing of the vendor. So I think this will be the end of this review of the payables agent. If you haven't, create a sandbox version 27, enable the payables agent um, from your environment, and you should be able to test and see what the agent is able to do for you. And that's the payable agent. All right, so I think we will stop there. I'll definitely see you in the next video.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss the next one.